It's a great day. My name is Trey Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Jennifer. Now, she'll be talking about not only how to empower and live your dream life, but also how to have that inner confidence to overcome past trauma. Is that even possible? We'll figure that out. What's going on, Jennifer? How you doing?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to have you here. Thanks for being here. And thank you to viewers for tuning in, by the way. Without you, we don't have a show. So thank you for tuning in during these very remarkable times that we're living in. You know, before we get started, people are going to read your bio and they're probably Googling you right now. They're going to see how famous you are, but they're probably curious. I'm just curious. I know we're talking about living your dream life, but here's the question I have. Why do folks today struggle with just having the inner confidence that they need to go after the dream that they really want?
Oh, I think a lot of it is going to come down to the limiting beliefs that's been put on us by society and friends and family and social media, where a lot of this should be uplifting us. It's actually bringing standards to a different way, and people are seeing it where they're not worthy, they're not confident. And so teaching people how to look outside of that box and reframe those limiting beliefs, I think is going to be a big part of getting people to find that confidence.
For the person that's listening saying, Shay, I like what I'm hearing. When she says limiting beliefs means many things to many people. Do you have any examples of what a limiting belief might be?
Yeah. So for me, when I decided to join this industry, I'm in the beauty industry. I was told I was wasting my brain. Why would I want to do something like that? And so for years, I followed my gut and went into the industry. But subconsciously, I was not living and fulfilling my dream and being the best version or creating that life and money and all those things that I wanted, because subconsciously, I still was thinking, oh, being a hairstylist is for unintelligent people. Being a hairstylist means you have to be broke. And it took me going through different events and traumas and things to realize that was all just something someone told me, but it wasn't reality. It wasn't true.
And as you were talking and saying that, the question that came up, which is really cool, is, and don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into her backstory. Okay, we're going to figure out who she is, her backstory, and how she became so famous. But they might be like, well, I'm glad that Jennifer could go do that, but I've had some challenges in my back life, Shay. There were some things that happened to me as a child. There were some things that happened to me maybe in a relationship. I've got some trauma that's happened to me. What would you say to the person that has to deal with some stuff behind them? And I know it's a loaded question. It really is a loaded question. But what would you say to that person is listening and saying, wow, I can't do that because of some things that happened to me?
Yeah. First of all, you're not alone. I think each and every person has dealt with something. And so don't single yourself out that this one thing or multiple things is defining who you are, but realize that you just need to take a moment and pause and really get quiet and listen to that inner being. Because if you're doubting that, then there's something inside telling you that you are here for a greater purpose. Right? You have greatness within you. You just have to be willing to explore it, listen to it, receive it, and then start doing the work. And look, it's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy at all. But when you know that there's a greater purpose, there's a higher self that you can grow into, man, you just have to take that moment and pause and then surround yourself with the people that's going to help you go through it.
I love it. Said so well. There's a phrase that you have that I really like, which is you get to tell your story. You get to define your story. Take a minute and tell us what that means and what that looks like.
So there's two things. My youngest son, his first grade teacher used to tell each one of them that they were each God's masterpiece. And they got to create their life based on the masterpiece that was within them, that had been placed on them. And that always kind of resonated with me because I've always known that, things are going to happen in your life. But I go to the Tony Robbins quote that life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I think when you can really embrace that there's something higher, there's something greater for you to live into. You're not put here to be limited. You're not put here to be average. You are put on this earth to be extraordinary. And you have to know inside that that is why you're here, that you have a bigger purpose.
The bigger purpose. I love that, by the way. And I love how you said that. And don't worry, we're going to get to the backstory in just a moment. But, I just want you to know, and the audience might want you to know that part of our audience, a good number of our audience, about 80%, they're dualpreneurs. They're full-time entrepreneurs. They're a full-time 9-to-5 jobs. They're 9-to-5 millionaires, okay? They're on that 9-to-5 millionaire track. But they want you to know, I'll tell you the question first, so you know who they are. But the question is, how do you deal with making sure you're taken care of to go after your dream without feeling guilty when you take care of everyone else? So some of these folks listening, they're a mom, some are fathers, some have children, some have responsibilities like they are caregivers like myself. Some of them out there are involved in their community. Some of their kids have schedules. Some of them say, wait a minute, Shay, I'm all that and some more. Okay, I got a lot on my plate. I got a lot of stuff going on. And she's talking about just going after my dreams and doing the things I want to do. So the question I have, and again, ladies and gentlemen, she said I can ask any question I want. So I'm going to ask it for you. How do you do what you need to take care of yourself without feeling guilty when everyone else is dependent on you?
Well, there's the saying, put your oxygen mask on first when you're on the airplane. And for many, many years, I did not do that. And when you are taking care and pouring into everybody else over and over, and you're not filling your own cup, filling your own goodness, you're going to crash and burn. And if you don't take care of yourself, God, universe, whatever you believe in, it's going to take care of you, right? You will crash, you will burn, you will have burnout. And so learning that taking care of yourself has to be a priority, even though you have all these other things. I wear multiple hats. I have a salon company. I'm a consultant, a team leader, a partner in a consulting company, like all these different hats, like you're saying. I have children, I have a dog, like all those things. But I had to really become strategic in taking time every single day to fill my cup. It started out with 10, 20 minutes, then it went to an hour of just getting silent, whether it's meditating, yoga, stretching, reading, whatever. I had to create something that brought me joy and happiness within before I could even step out and do all those other things.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing and being so authentic, by the way. It's so cool. Now, the question that you've been waiting on, which is an opportunity to talk about, who are you, by the way? Not everyone has met you, by the way, although as famous as you are around the world. There's some folks who are meeting you for the very first time. Someone's listening right now saying, Shay, I'm in the kitchen cooking, by the way. I'm just playing on my laptop, on my iPad. I don't know who this person is. Someone else is listening to us maybe in the podcast right now and in their ear. Someone else, maybe we're on your big screen TV. I mean, it's possible. It could very well be right now. So, the question, take a moment and talk about, what's your backstory and what was that defining moment that led you to say, you know what, I'm born to help people overcome past trauma and live the life they really deserve.
Wow. So, look, I could sit here and say I'm just a simple girl from down the bayou in Louisiana, but that's not true. I was born in Mississippi, grew up down the bayou in Louisiana, but always knew that there was something more. And being a hairstylist is where I started. And it was really just about making other people feel amazing. I knew from probably about 4 or 5 that that's what I was supposed to do. And from there, it went from empowering people, making them feel good in the salon, to, you know what, I'm a single mom. I want a hair salon and teach other people how to become empowered and independent so that they can be the sole provider in their family, take care of their children. And, just one thing led to another over time. But at the end of the day, I'm someone that is, I know my purpose is about serving and helping others find their worth and go through all the things that we may experience in this journey and figure out how to become a better person and how to navigate the things, because no one's going to have the perfect life. We're all going to have the speed bumps. We're going to navigate. I mean, I've had bankruptcy in my life. I've had, molestation when I was a child, like all the different things. But at the end of the day, I know that looking at each one of those things as an experience and a moment, and it has brought me to a place where I can serve others and help other people navigate through those same things, then that's my greater purpose. And that's who I am. Like, I want to help other people so that maybe they don't have to go through the hardships like I did, or maybe it's how to navigate those hardships.
And in navigating those hardships and being so open and so transparent, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
For the person who's leaning in and says, she is me. Okay. Like I see reflections of what she's saying in myself. Because asking the question, what are maybe 1, 2, or 3 things that someone could do to get back on the right track? If you say, well, here's step 1, and then here's step 2, and then here's step 3. Again, I know you're all at different places and different spaces, different backgrounds, but if you had to, speak to the person that's leaning in right now saying, yeah, she's right, this is my time, what's the first thing you recommend they do? And the second or the third thing?
First thing is listen. Listen to that little voice in your head, the little twinge in your gut. Like, that is, turn that volume up and listen to it, because you are worthy, and don't allow the society and other things to drown that voice out, because it's very easy to do. So turn the volume up on knowing that you have something greater and bigger. Second, do an audit of the people around you. And this was really difficult for me, but doing an audit of the people around you, and are they uplifting? Are they inspiring you to become better and live out and go after? Are they limiting you? And no blame, shame, or game on the people that don't support you, because that's their own limiting beliefs or their own foundation. But surround yourself with the people that are going to help you get to that next level, that's going to inspire you and motivate you. And I think the third thing is learning that self-care and taking that time to really love on yourself is just as important as you loving on anyone else. Because when you can really truly fall in love with who you are as a person, then that's when you can give that love away to everybody else. But as long as you're not feeling that and diving into that, then you cannot go to the next place.
I love it, by the way. And I think that, as you were saying that's a perfect segue to a segment that we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks that tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know exactly what we're about to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. You wait to say those words. Today is my January 1st. And for all the new folks who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is back there, or how bright and sunny the past is, the past no longer really equals the future. And so my question is really twofold to Jennifer on the other side. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? What do you hear? And number two, what was another time or a moment that you had a setback, and what did you do to bounce back from it?
So I think both of those are hand in hand. And, there's so many defining moments in life. And each one has brought its own circumstances and experiences. But the one that, when you asked me that question, that just came straight forward was, and I can tell you the date, it was April 29th, 2022. And my baby sister Gabrielle was killed in a car accident, and she was 23 at the time. And the whole world stopped, right? And so for 5 days she was in the hospital, and it was like, what's going on? I had just gotten separated, was getting divorced, and this happened. And it was just like, in that moment, I was on the beach, I had just finished running, and realized it was raining, and the lightning thundering all around me, and I realized the beach was empty, and I was just sitting there just crying. And it was like the light opened up from the sky, and it was like, what are you doing? Like, it is time for you to go back to who you are. Like, you have purpose, and it is time to get up and put on your shoes and do what you need to do. And that moment made me realize life is very short, and I needed to stop living it on everybody else's terms and really start living it on my terms. Because when that kind of thing happens, it puts everything else into perspective. And so that's what I did. I picked up, and literally a few months later, I started writing a book, and just really started learning who I was as a human, and what did I want to do with the rest of my life, because I'm at that halfway point. What do I want to leave? So, picking it up and just saying, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to live by anybody else's expectations or what anybody else is telling me I should or shouldn't do. It's about what I want to do at this point.
Very transparent. We appreciate that, by the way. And you don't worry, ladies. I'm not gonna let her leave you hanging. I mean, she said she wrote a book. She didn't tell us the name of the book. It can help us as well. But don't worry. Don't worry. We are locked in. No, seriously. So what's the name of the book that you've written, by the way? You can't just leave us hanging. And how do we help you?
So the book is called ICU. It's a guide to finding your inner strength, confidence, and voice after trauma and abuse. And I had just filed for divorce, and it was in a mentally and verbally abusive situation. And when Gabby died, it was really a moment when I sat back and I'm like, okay, I know I need to share my story and my journey, because there's too many people that have experienced this. And people need to know they're not alone, and that there's a lot of us out there that are going through that whole thing. When you looked on the outside, I had it all together. I was super successful. But on the inside, I was battling, not being worthy, not being good enough, all those things. And so the book was a very therapeutic thing for me. I have been journaling for many, many years, and I was able to take all of that along with what I was going through up until this point, and just pour it all out on paper. And, when I started sharing with some of my friends, even my closest friend from high school, her and I had experienced so many of the same traumas, but we had never shared them with each other, even though we've been friends for 30 years. And so I was like, man, if she felt this way, then how is it, like, how many other people feel this way? And I was like, I have to do this. Because at first it was just going to be a book for me. And then it was like, no, you've got to get this out there, because there's too many people that are experiencing these things. We can be successful entrepreneurs and still have things behind closed doors that we need to deal with. And so this is kind of opening that door for other people to say, like, it's okay to work on yourself, and it's okay to have these things have happened to you. What are you going to do with them now? Right? How are you going to grow from that point and keep going?
How do you grow from now? How do you keep going? I mean, I love it. I love how you mentioned that, by the way. And we're all, as you were speaking, want to know where we can go get the book, because I don't think we heard where we can go get the book. I mean, we heard about the book, but we didn't hear we can go get the book. Don't worry, we're going to ask her where can you get the book.
So you can get it on Amazon. You can just literally go to my name and it'll come up, or you can even go, there's a link on my Instagram as well. So you can get it from either one of those places.
Ah, fantastic. Now, we're also being nosy looking behind you. Ladies, she sat there for a purpose, I'm sure, because you got just a beautiful view, got all these nice photos. So we're curious, what do the photos represent? And then there's that one right in the middle. It says, stay humble, work hard. Okay, you got to give us the backstory. First, are the photos have any relevance? Or you just like the pictures back there? And then why is that one phrase back there so near and dear to you? I like the work hard part, by the way.
So this is a gift. My team, I own a salon company here in Gretna, Louisiana. And last year for Christmas, my team took photos of our time frame and they framed them and gave them to me. And they made me a set for my office at the salon and a set here. And so there's a few more there. I don't know if you can see or not.
Yeah, we see it.
So it's literally like when I started in the industry. Stay humble, work hard, be kind is really about you get out of this life what you put into it. And so you have to work hard, but you also want to stay humble. You know, you can be very successful, and I don't ever want to let my ego drive me in doing anything. And I think sometimes we get self love, self care, confidence kind of cross wired with ego. And you can have all of that and be a kind person, be compassionate, empathetic, and still be confident and strong. So it's just a reminder for me every day to, stay humble and keep working and always show up with kindness, even when I may feel like that person doesn't deserve it, which is a hard one. And if you know me, I mean, that's a work in progress because I have not always been that super kind, compassionate person. I decided a few years ago that that's who I wanted to be. I didn't want to be the hardened, disappointed, angry divorcee, mad at the world. Like I did not want to be that person. I wanted to be a person that could be the victor, not the victim, and really learn from it and then pass that positivity on to other people.
I love it, by the way. What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world? When you're not out trying to help everyone else get what they want out of life? What do you do for fun just to relax and kick back?
Well, I absolutely love travel. And I get to travel a lot I am also a consultant for a salon company, or salon consulting company. So I get to travel a lot going in and doing other things. And so traveling and just seeing all of the world is really important to me. I think there's just so many beautiful things out there. But I love being at the beach. Put me near water, beach, the pool, just outside. I love that 85, 90-degree weather. And I know a lot of people are like, who likes that? And I'm like, I love it. Put me outside. I also love gardening, and my kids kind of laugh at me. I started a few years ago with one box, and now I have like 8 raised flower beds, and I have lettuce and tomatoes and all the stuff. So I started out as growing it as therapy, and the next thing I know, I'm like, I kind of like this. If I want to go make a salad, I just go outside, get what I need, and come back in.
I love it, by the way. I love that you're having fun. I love that you love gardening. My wife took it up gardening as well. And all of a sudden we got plants and all stuff all over the place. And I guess it's so true. The old saying, they say, you're never too old to have a happy childhood, by the way. So, enjoy it and have as much fun as we can for as long as we can. As we're coming down the home stretch, a 2-part question. Number 1, what type of clients are you looking to work with, if any, by the way? And number 2, how can folks best connect with you? Where can they go if they want to stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have right now?
So, oh man, clients that I'm looking for, anyone in the beauty industry, of course, is always a plus just because they're near and dear to my heart. And working with salon owners and stylists to grow their business, but grow themselves is always a plus. But I definitely, over the next few years, leaning more towards helping people that have experienced various types of trauma and abuse. My other sister and I eventually want to open a therapeutic holistic wellness place where people can have alternative healing center type thing, whether it's, with horses. That would be my sister's because I'm not the horse person, but being able to help teach people to go through the process of healing through meditation, NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, and journaling, and just all the different holistic approaches to getting to the other side and building that confidence. And as far as connecting with me right now, the best way to connect with me is through Instagram and TikTok. My website's being built. So hopefully in the next 30 to 45 days, the website will be up and people will be able to, sign up for email listings and things like that. But right now, my Instagram is Jennifer_J_Boutwell on Instagram. And I try to put out really positive content along with just real life. You asked about fun. We just had Mardi Gras here in New Orleans, and I spent the last 10 days just living it up with all my friends, going to the parades and brunch and rode in the parade and just, making other people smile. It was really cool. Lots of energy and fun.
Lots of energy and lots of fun. I've been to New Orleans a number of times. Love it, love it, love it. So with that being said, let me say, number one, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. I know you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So you're giving us the most precious resource you have right now, which is your time. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's a true pleasure.
And thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show. Okay. So I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life right now, whether you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming, or you're going to that next level of success, you're pushing as hard as you possibly can. Here's what I believe. I believe that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, it hasn't changed. Still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Thanks a lot, Jennifer. God bless you guys. We'll see you later. Peace. See you on the other side.